And we are live. Hey everybody, welcome back to CoopCouchGaming, all you Coop operatives out there, as well as anybody else that wants to join me on the couch today. Although, you might have noticed a little something's off. We are not on the couch. We are in some underground labyrinth at the moment. No, so not doing like a traditional stream tonight. I just wanted to do something of a kind of just like an update style stream, right? So it's like, you know, kind of what's the future, what, you know, when it comes to CoopCouch, right? Well, this space right here is part of that. I'm finally taking the initiative to actually try to finish up the basement. So I've been working on that past few weeks. Made good progress. I've gotten stuff cleaned up. The next task is going to be I need to scrape down the walls. You know, just old brick. I need to scrape down the walls, get it sealed back up, because I don't know what the previous owners did. But they didn't do what they should have. That corner in particular, you can't quite see it from here, but that corner in particular, yeah, it's a little rough. It's a little rough, that corner. So I need to go ahead and just like, I'm just going to just reseal everything, repaint everything. So that's more or less kind of where I'm at now. I got pretty much everything moved out that I need to get moved out, right? So all the small stuff, so I had a box and it had, you know, old tiles that the previous owners had left, presumably, you know, tiles for the, you know, kitchen, yeah, right? Like the old school tiles, you know. Yeah, so they were in a box. I picked the box up, go to move it, the box breaks. And now I have like the mini pieces of probably like 20 something tiles just everywhere. And that was after I like ran the shop vac and like swept everything. And I'm just like, man, come on that. Come on that. You know what I mean? So like I ended up having to like redo like at least half of the building because there was just shards of old kitchen tile just all over the place. So I'm just like, man, come on with that. Come on with that. But no, it's been going good overall. Like I said, like as it currently stands, like this space that I'm currently in right now, you know, I'm planning to do some framing, you know, dividing out the basement a bit. Yeah, probably have a bit of echo in here. Also, my hair is a mess. I am sorry in advance. That's what happens when you wear a hard hat. And it's like, oh, why are you wearing a hard hat when you're just working on your own house stuff? Because I'm tall and I hit my head on everything. I just cut, so the previous owners had like a clothesline, right? That stretched from there to, and I know you can't see this, but from there basically to there, like I don't even know. If I had to guess, probably 20 something foot gap, I would say. But the thing is, like, they had it so low, I don't know, I guess the previous, so the guy I bought it off of, it was his parents' home, right? But I guess they were like short. I never met the parents. But yeah, I guess that they were short. But the thing is, I kept constantly hitting myself on the clothesline that I didn't even use. You know what I mean? And not just the line. I'm talking like they got a couple of 2x, right? And just tacked it. Like, and not even tacked it smart. They tacked it with like just a bunch of random nails. And I mean, it had to be up there for years. Like the darn nails are so rusted up. Like I couldn't really pry them out. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take the saw to it. So I cut those as close as I could to the you know, to the support beams, right? But like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff with this basement that I've been meaning to do for a while since I've been here, right? And I just haven't gotten around to do it. But lately I've had sort of the drive, the initiative, if you will, to try to get some of this stuff done. Plus, like, if I can finish up this space, hopefully I'll be able to do far more in terms of CoopCouch. Because the thing is, with the current setup, yeah, as it currently is, right? Sorry, I keep messing with my hair. The darn hard hat messes my hair up, and then I'm always conscious of it. I'm just like, as soon as I go off site or anything, I'm just like, man, my hair's just a mess. I'm gonna have to drive home, and it's gonna all be all bleh. But it is what it is, right? What do you call them? But anyway, so yeah, one of the reasons that we aren't able to do Coop Couch as frequent as I would like. I would love to be able to do like a, like a week, a sort of a weekly thing, right? Like as far as like a weekly stream, we've been still aiming to do, we're still aiming to do like the at least 3 videos on YouTube, because right now with how the YouTube is currently trending, it's actually looking pretty darn good. The episode that just dropped yesterday, actually, it was the last episode of that Bloodborne, the Bloodborne fiasco. But that one actually has been doing pretty well. It's up to like, I think like 40 views now. And I was looking, it was like, I don't know, like 80% of those views were like outside of like subscribers, right? So I'm just like, if we can kind of keep that momentum. And the thing is, it has been trending up since we have been trying to release more frequent, right? So we're kind of starting to figure out this whole algorithm game, right? We're getting there. And I was going to say, and then I immediately dropped this, and then the whole algorithm just is busted because it doesn't know how to actually factor in a video like this. But now, more or less, just trying to keep busy doing what we can. What do you call them? I haven't really said too much, but my father ended up having some, words. He had a medical emergency here, last week, about a week and a half ago. It wasn't this past weekend, it was, no, I'm trying to think. Sorry, everything just runs together these days, honestly. Like, it seems like there's just been so much going on. No, it had 2 weeks. It would have been not this past weekend, it would have been the weekend before that. But that kind of really like threw me off a bit. And sort of gave me, I guess, perspective as far as like wanting to just do the stuff that I know that I have on my checklist of things to do. You know what I mean? Finishing up the basement being one of those. So, I'd already started working on it, but like after that, it really like, it really kind of, I don't know, it pushed me, for lack of a better way to put it. And it's like, I'm trying to like get a bunch of stuff that I've had on my checklists done, you know what I mean? Because you don't know when, something might happen, is more or less what it comes down to, right? But no, we'll take it day by day. And eventually we'll get it all done, right? But no, honestly, being able to do the streams and stuff is, even if it's pretty much just, me to myself or me to Mitchell or whoever else happens to come by, right? It actually means a lot to be able to just have sort of just a space to be able to just kind of just throw ideas around, kind of get whatever, happen to be wanting to chat about, sort of out there, and, like I was telling Mitchell, I don't think last stream, it might have been just the last time we talked, it kind of gives you, well, no, I think we did mention old stream, but it kind of gives you a, sort of like a metric almost of like where you were at the time, because you yourself know yourself better than anybody else. It's like, you, the viewer, those of you that are joining me on the couch today, but not on the couch today, like you might not be able to pick up on like me as like the personal, like at the personal level, right? Versus like if I go back, say a year from now and rewatch this, I'll be able to like pick up like, oh, that's okay, just based on like sort of mannerisms and things like that I know that I have, just because I've lived with myself for many years now, as it is. You kind of pick up on stuff that other people don't, but that's still, you know, very valuable, especially like when you're kind of looking back from the future, right? So that's kind of the boat that I'm in when it comes to like the channel. You know, even with like the actual gameplay videos, right? Let me readjust this a little bit. Something like that. I don't know. I just dragged my setup down here as far as like the camera and stuff, just because like I've been meaning to like do it up. The problem is starting thing is not stable enough. Okay, sorry. There. We good? It's good enough. It's good enough. But no, I've been meaning to want to do like an update style video like this to be able to go over sort of like where we kind of see the future as far as CoopCouch gaming, you know. So to say, mic's still holding up. I know this space is not exactly conducive to the mic. However it turns out, it's going to turn out. But no, I just wanted to do just a quick video. I'm not going to be on for too long this evening. But, you know, I just wanted to say, hey, I'm going to be trying to do some update posts as far as like once I start making progress. I would show more off right now, but the thing is, I've got like trash bags, boxes, and all kinds of other stuff that I just need to drag to the landfill that I just haven't done yet. This week was just ridiculously busy for work. I ended up having to work until like 12 o'clock the other night just to be able to knock out a couple of things for that next morning that just, you know, stuff comes up as it does. You know, even though it probably could have been addressed like a week in advance. I don't know. But no, like I said, you know, this space here, this is going to be, you know, once we do sort of get a sort of like an actual setup going, instead of just me trying to put everything up in the living room and then deassemble it every time. Because the thing is, that takes like so much effort, because then you have to readjust your camera, you have to readjust, you know, your mic, you have to readjust pretty much everything. So I'm just like, it's really not working out the way it currently is. Like, it's not bad to be able to do that, say every couple of weeks, but the thing is, like, you know, it's like I have people over, I have family over, you know, and it's like I can't exactly just have, you know, the whole couch drug up in front of the TV and have, you know, lights and all that jazz set up, you know, for the stream. You know, it's just all going to be, you know, up in everybody's way. You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, I don't think I actually showed. So I ended up picking up a couple of little lights. Hello. This is one of them. But no, it actually makes a pretty decent, like, noticeable difference. Plus the good thing is they are adjustable, so I can pretty much just light beam myself into next Wednesday. Goodness, that is so bright. Ow. Or you can turn it down to where it's basically off. Now I'm not to try to fix my lighting again. Nah, close enough. We'll deal with that. But no, the setup, like, it's coming together. But the thing is, with all of the extra hardware needed for trying to, like, do something a bit more, you know, I would say professional, but considering I'm literally doing this from the basement, like the unfinished basement, with like zero acoustic anything, I can't exactly say this is too, yeah. But anyway, no, we just have fun around here. You guys know that. We're just doing whatever we do here. And that's kind of what we intended from the first place, right? It's like, you know, we'll play whatever games we want to play, talk about whatever we want to talk about, and, you know, more or less break up the monotony of just going to work every day, coming home, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, because after a while, that kind of gets old, not gonna lie. Like, if I'm being honest with you, I as far as like work goes, like, I've been pretty like not motivated with work lately. like, not to say that I haven't been doing work. I've still been getting the work done, but like, I found myself wanting to like drift away from work more lately. And I don't know if that's necessarily, it might be just a response of like, again, you know, sort of coming to terms with like, I don't know, like limited time, I guess, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say, my foot is falling asleep. I have crossed my legs right now. Aye, foot, no. I was gonna say, it looks like that I don't have any pants on right now when I move my leg like that. I have shorts on. I was gonna say, yeah, somebody's gonna comment out there. It's like, wait, hold up. You tell me he's in a cold basement wearing a big old coat, but he doesn't have pants on. Oh, sorry. But no, I've got shorts on for anybody. Yeah. Sorry to, you know, disappoint, but I do indeed do have pants. Or shorts. Attire. Goodness, man. But no, as far as the next stuff that I need to do with the basement, like I said, I've already cleaned up pretty decent. I need to do the walls. That's going to be a big thing. I'll have to see, you know, now that I've kind of like gotten you guys all into the loop as far as like, you know, kind of what's going on down here. I'll have to send some stuff on the Reddit, like just some updates and stuff. Plus, like I said, I would love to be able to do some more, just more like, I want to say vlog. I don't like the word vlog too much, but I guess that's kind of what this is. Just more stuff like this as far as videos go, where it's a bit more casual. What's Mitchell doing? Mitchell's over here all like, buh, I'm on Messenger. It's like, I don't know. Sounds like a Gouda. Very cheese-like. Is that a fact? Yes, it is very Gouda. But no, so the walls, that's the next thing I need to work on. I need to work, so I've got a couple of leaks, as far as pipes go. I'll probably, I need to get up in there. I actually need to look, because I've identified where the leaks are, and I'm pretty sure it's just a couple bad seals. So I need to get up in there and see if it's like an actual, like a structural integrity thing, you know, where it's like actually broken, or if it's something that I could just like, I wouldn't say just like, just kind of like, you know, just pull out the hat as it were, but like, there's ways to fix stuff without immediately replacing it, right? But it'll probably be one and the same, honestly. I'll have to see what's up there as far as our connections and, I don't know, kind of, you know, get replacement parts as need be. So there's that. I've already got the sealant and stuff for the walls. I just need to just take the time to do it. I did install a couple of ventilation fans. So I've got the one fan against this wall here, which is drawing air in, right? Then on the far end over there, I've got another fan that I installed, output. So we should actually have ventilation in here now, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't do very much down here yet, because I needed to get a couple of fans so that I could actually have air circulating down here. So the thing is, like, I don't be working around a bunch of harsh chemicals if I can help it. It's bad enough in here already, smelling like some kind of soap and vinegar and other kinds of stuff. I was gonna say, my nose is pretty much shot already just being down here, but I'm just like, well, it's got to get done. That's why I do have these little masks. I don't need a mask. Granted, I'd have to readjust it now because it's not gonna. Oh, garbage. Oh, I hate these the darn filter ones are good, but the darn filter ones are bad. And I know that sounds back and forth, but like, it's true. Also, how did I get this flipped around? What? Somehow I got this flipped around? When did that happen? Oh, I did take it off. I did take it off. I went upstairs to send Mitchell a text because he had asked me to do it, like take a picture or something. But like I took the mask off. I guess when I put it back on, I threw it on upside down. Oh goodness, it do be like that sometimes though. Yeah. But I've been trying to. I'm too tired for this, man. But no, I know one of the things Ma was concerned about is like, oh, you don't need to be breathing in that junk. And it's like, well, they make stuff to where I don't have to breathe in the junk. It's called masks and other junk. So that's what I've been trying to take it nice and safe, you know, for mostly for Ma's behalf. Like, honestly, I don't think that I'd be hurting myself down here doing, you know, the simple stuff that I'm doing. But, you know. It's better to be safe than sorry, and considering that I work, you know, work the occupation that I do, I don't really have very much excuse for me getting hurt doing something. It's bad enough. I actually did kind of hurt my foot the other day. I was up on the ladder cleaning up the shelves, right? You know, a couple old, you know, like the old metal, you know, shelves usually get rusted up. So I was going through and cleaning those up, but I was going back down the ladder, and I don't know if it was just because I was tired. It was already like, I think it was like 11 o'clock by the time, like 11 o'clock my time, you know, whatever time you guys work on. But yeah, I ended up, for some reason, I what word am I looking for? Misjudged is maybe the word I'm looking for, the phrase I'm looking for. I misjudged how like far the step was for the ladder that I was on, and I ended up, you know, it's like it wasn't that bad. I thought that I was taking one step, but I ended up taking two steps, and that last step being the ground. So I ended up it kind of like threw me for a loop for a second. It's like my foot was all like, oh, you stepped way further and harder than I really thought you were going to be. So it's just like, no. Yeah, let's maybe not do that. That's really the only thing that I've really done down here that's really got me hurt. I mean, yeah, my foot felt weird for like an hour and then it was fine, you know. As far as anything else going on, I mean, more or less just keeping on, you know, that's the best that we can all do, right? But no, I'm hoping, you know, if all goes well and I can keep up the progress on the basement that I am now, I'm hoping to kind of have it under control, kind of finished. I don't know if I'll have like the actual stream set up ready by then, but I'm hoping to actually have at least the actual basement ready, you know, come Christmas time. So I'm hoping to be able to sort of have that done and sort of be able to like unveil that, if you will. Kind of make, you know, it'd be great if we could have like a Christmas special, you know, like the Christmas special when it comes time for that. And I really don't know how that's going to play out as far as like, you know, with Mitchell being gone. You know, he's going to be, you know, in theory, he's, you know, going to be, you know, I won't say deployed. Well, I don't know. You could ask him. But he's going to be basically on assignment at that time. So I don't exactly know how it's going to play out. It may be just like he's just going to have to do his own thing, maybe do some like small like vlog style videos, you know, to send over. But yeah, we'll figure it out once we get there. But yeah, I would at least, you know, at least on this end, I would like to be able to have, you know, at least this component done, you know, come Christmas. Granted, that's a month away from now, but I've been trying to make good progress, you know, with it. I've been making, you know, pretty decent progress at this point. So if I keep up the effort, hopefully I can have it done by then. And then we'll have to worry about it. And then we'll actually be able to have, you know, a permanent setup instead of like sort of jerry rigging something every other weekend or every third weekend. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the boat that I'm in right now. It's like, for CoopCouch, like, we are just like, for the time being, until we can get like a permanent setup, like I kind of want to keep it more casual. So more chats like this. Maybe even do some like gameplay videos where it's like just voice, you know, no webcam. You know, that would open up a lot. I mean, it would be kind of, I've had mixed feelings about that, because the thing is, like, CoopCouchGaming, like, part of our sort of branding, if you will, has been like the couch, right? It's like, hey, join us on the couch. You know, welcome to the couch, all that jazz. You know what I mean? So to do video without, or to do, you know, video without, you know, the webcam feed, for example, like, I don't know. Like, I could see it work, but also not work. And I don't know. It would certainly, at least until we can get something permanent, it would be way easier to do. But again, it's going to be a lot more casual videos, instead of like the more grand stuff. So like our, you know, the Bloodborne playthrough that we started, Majora's Mask. You know, I'd love to be able to keep those with like that level of production, because, you know, that last stream that we did with Mitchell was really, really good. And even looking back at it, you know, for myself, and then looking at the numbers on YouTube, like, those videos are performing pretty darn well, compared to the other ones. And I feel like part of that is because, you know, taking the additional time to try to have, you know, try to improve the setup, you know, try to produce more production value out of it. You know, and it's like, again, at the end of the day, I don't really expect it to really grow that much, or don't expect it to like become this like, oh, you know, it's like, oh, 100 subscribers, you know, anything like that. It'll probably be just like the small in group of people that, you know about us. It's like some of our OG followers here on Twitch, and then, you know, the people here on Twitch that, you know, end up, you know, going and rewatching our, you know, archives and stuff. You know, it's like, you know, right now on Twitch, we're at, I think, 37, I think. You know, even if we were to get up to 50, and even if we got 50 over on YouTube, YouTube's been consistently lower when it comes to subs. I think we're at 13 right now for that. But, what do you call them? No, it just, what, you know what I'm trying to say. It's getting late here. I'm tired. I've been working way too many hours this week. I just need to get some sleep, man. But no, I just wanted to just like, again, just like, it doesn't necessarily matter if it, you know, becomes this big thing. Like, that's not really the point. Like, I mean, you know, it'd be great if it did, but at least I'm personally happy with it being a thing of, you know, it's like, oh, okay, well, we got a couple of, you know, we got, say, you know, well, 37 people that you know, share a sense of humor when it comes to like playing video games and stuff. And, you know, just as a way to look back and sort of just look at yourself, it's a really good resource to sort of see like where you were at the time, how you were feeling at the time, and sort of like what you were kind of going through, right? So, you know, regardless of what happens with the channel, it will still be a great thing for the future, if that makes sense. You know, I'll be happy with it, you know, regardless of how it turns out. But, you know, if I do want to actually treat this, you know, a bit more seriously, which I'm trying to do, you know, as far as like trying to do the production value, you know, we had, you know, for example, the last stream that we did, you know, trying to keep that up, you know, and then also being able to create more of a, like a permanent housing for, you know, for this setup, for the stream. You know, that way we'll be able to deliver more consistent quality material, right? Because the thing is, having to deconstruct and then reconstruct every single week or every, other week, or every third, however availability turns out, right? It's not too viable, simply because you have to readjust everything. Like, you have to replace your lights, you have to redo your webcam, you have to recalibrate your mic, to make sure that your levels are correct, because from one day to another, for some reason, these things kind of get a little wonky, which is why we had some issues in the past as far as our some of our older original streams. It's like, oh well, we had technical difficulties, probably because our setup basically changed every single time we set it back up. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the holdup, honestly, when it comes to like the channel and like being able to like kind of continue the sort of upward quality assurance element of it. It's just we don't have a permanent space for being able to make content, and that's what I'm working on. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much covers most of what I was gonna say. My other foot's falling asleep now. I still have shorts on, by the way, don't you worry about it. But no, what do you call them? I mean, that pretty much covers it, honestly. Mitchell said that he might stop by, but maybe not. If not now, I'm fairly confident that I'm going to probably do another video, maybe tomorrow. That or Sunday. I think Mitchell was wanting to do like an actual stream Sunday, which I should actually have availability for. Oh, my knee. Yeah, I should actually have availability come Sunday, so we should be able to do Bloodborne. Again, I'm at the reset up everything, but with him going to be on assignment here pretty soon, it would be good to be able to fit in some more stuff with him before he goes, because we just, at this point, we don't know really what his availability is going to be, and it'd be a shame to not be able to do anything with him, possibly for the next couple years, you know what I mean? So, just trying to fit in just everything, more or less. And that's, kind of the thing with me, is just like trying to come up with time to be able to do this stuff, man. It's difficult. It's difficult to be able to, find time, because it's like I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to just, keep up with content on the stream here, on the YouTube, and then, of course, family time, work, it's a lot of stuff that just adds up, is what it comes down to. And trying to find that balance is very hard when you have such limited amounts of time to sort of play with. Which is why usually the streams run super late. And that's why we're usually half asleep, during the streams. Because it's a thing of like, well, it's like you work a, 40 to 60 hour week. Also, you want to have time with family in the evenings. And then also, by the time you, spend time with them, even if it's only like a couple hours, it's like, well, all right, getting back home at like 8 o'clock, and, let's stream for like 3 hours. It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm going to stay up until like 11:30 and then have to be up the next day to be able to do stuff. So that's kind of like, that's the tricky part with doing streams right now, is like not having a permanent setup. We can't really just like whip out content when we have availability, because there are some times where it's like, oh, okay, well, I just got done with work, I know parents are gone for a bit, like, you know what I mean, like they're out of town or something, like they're shopping, for example. It's like I can't go visit them, so I've got like nothing else to do at the at that time, right? So it's like, oh, okay, well, I now have 2 hours to play with. So if I had a permanent setup, I could plausibly just like do more random content, like another, just more streams throughout the week, things like that. But as it currently stands, with having to reset up everything, it's like to set everything back up, it's like, oh, well, it's like, it's not that long. It's like, say 10 minutes to get stuff set back up, and then it's like, oh, maybe another 5 minutes to run some, audio tests. But you also have to think, it's like, oh, well, now I have to take it all back down, which is like, oh, another 10 minutes. It's like, by then, you've basically lost like, 25 minutes, maybe even a half hour, if you're like being particularly slow that day. You know what I mean? So it's like, you figure you waste about a half hour just being able to like set everything up and have it ready to stream. And it's like, it's just, to be able to save that half hour, like that's an entire episode basically. So, it's way better overall. Plus, like I said, if you can have a permanent setup, you can leave everything as it is. You don't have to readjust it. It should work just as well. Which is great because then again, quality assurance. You don't have to really worry about having to readjust your mic every time because your mic it should be where it was the last time you left it. So it's a lot. That's what it comes down to. But yeah, I think I've rambled on probably long enough. More or less, I mean, that pretty much covers everything I wanted to say, at least today. I'll probably, like I said, tomorrow I'll probably do something short. Probably something a little bit more fun than just like, oh, this is an update. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll probably do just a small something tomorrow. Probably won't do games tomorrow. Then Sunday, Mitchell and I are probably going to be back in Bloodborne, so you'll be able to, watch actual gameplay. Actually do the CoopCouchGaming as opposed to random block wall and chords. The show. So it's just kind of like, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, this would be a really cool space. I've got a lot of plans for this space too. Like I like, so this space right here, I'm sitting in right now. I'm aiming to turn it into something of like sort of like a little gaming corner, more or less. So I'd have like a shelf with like books, D&D stuff. I would have another shelf, maybe store actual games, like video games. Board games. Like I would love to be able to have a place to be able to store, because I really like board games. Board games are like, I feel like very underrated. For lack of a better way to put it. Because like, dude, I love board games. Board games are great. Like right now I'm painting up Dark Souls, the board game. I've been working on painting those, occasionally. I haven't for like the past couple months, unfortunately. But I had hinted at actually wanting to do a stream of like how to play that at one point. Of course I haven't gotten around to it because I haven't finished painting them yet. But I would love to be able to do that. I would love, there's another game that I really enjoy. It was a video game called Hand of Fate. But they had a board game that I actually helped kickstart, which and it's actually really fun too. But I would love to be able to have that down here, be able to host that, you know what I mean. And then all kinds of games, man, like Mage Knight. There's so many good board games, and it's like I want to play them with people. I don't really have a space to do that. Unfortunately, because like I've got the dining table upstairs, right? Like I've got that, but like it's not like it's not like grandiose table or anything. It's just like a little country style. When I say dining table, I don't mean like the table from like Cinderella, right? Good old Jerry Lewis. Like I'm not talking like that table. Oh goodness! Nobody that watches this probably even knows who Jerry Lewis is now. Just know he was a pretty funny comedian. I don't know. I think there was some controversial stuff about him at one point. But the thing is, like, I don't know. At some point you kind of got to appreciate the artist and not the or the other way around. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, you know, if he had some funny videos, it's like he had some funny videos or, you know, movies. Like, you know, it's like if they're funny, then they're funny for what they are, you know, detached from the person playing it. Like, I don't even know. I don't think that, and maybe I'm thinking somebody else. But for some reason I was thinking, I don't know. For some reason I was thinking that he got himself into some trouble at some point. Just for the sake of me not rambling on about nothing here, let me look it up. Uh, he was accused of some stuff, which, yeah, that happens, unfortunately. I'm only saying, doesn't look like he was actually charged with anything, though. I'm just saying a bunch of stuff saying that he was accused of stuff, which, I mean, is bad unto itself. Don't get me wrong. The fact that, you know, the fact that he was, you know, called out on something, you know, does throw some info into his character, right? But I don't know. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, you know, he was in some funny movies, and, you know, you kind of gotta appreciate, you know, the art and not so much the artist, you know, at some point, right? So that's kind of my, I don't know, I wouldn't say stance on it, but like, I don't know. It's kind of along the same lines of like, you know, you take it's like you take like Bethesda and stuff, right? And they're like, you know, their most recent stuff that's been brought up as far as like, oh, well, their games are garbage. You know, the work conditions are like not that great. But then it's like, you know, you still have like a milestone like Skyrim, and it's like, you know, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Doom. That's another story right there. Yeah, Doom's another story. But like, what do you call them? But nah, it's like, you know, at a certain point you kind of gotta like appreciate like the actual product versus like the person that made it, you know, at a certain point, because it's like, you know, despite how Bethesda themselves are doing, it's like, oh, well, Skyrim is still, you know, despite it being somewhat aged now, right? Like it's pretty aged, but like it's still, I would still argue it's a pretty legendary game for what it is, like especially the time that it came out. So like, yeah, yeah, it's a little aged, but that's kind of to be expected, you know. And that's coming from me, you know, the guy that's still actively playing Ocarina of Time on the original N64. So I'm just like, I don't have very much room to talk about aged video games. But yeah, how you doing, Sonk? Yeah, welcome to the stream. I know this isn't usually the CoopCouchGaming that you are used to. Oh, did you? Nice, nice. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, Ocarina of Time, that's a solid one. I started doing Majora, I don't know if you saw it, but I started to do Majora's Mask here on stream. I mean, not tonight, but last time that I streamed. Oh, playing around with cheats. Interesting. Huh. So I'm assuming you probably have it like, what, emulated then? I was gonna say there's some pretty cool mods, man. Like there's like a randomizer that you can use. Oh, 3DS. Nice, nice. Just the 3DS version. Yeah, don't worry. Like we'll be revisiting Majora's Mask here soon. Sort of to give you a brief synopsis of why I'm here in the basement. This is kind of my next project. I'm trying to finish the basement to be able to have a bit more of a permanent setup. Because right now, don't get me wrong, doing the setup in the living room, it's great, but having to tear it down and put it back up every time I want to stream is getting a little old. So I'm kind of working on a bit more of a permanent setup, which would actually allow us to be able to do more streams. So work stream. Yes and no. I'm taking a break. I was working on it a little bit ago. But I was chatting with Mitchell and I figured, might as well take a little bit of a break, kind of do a little chat segment, sort of a, where's the future of CoopCouchGaming gonna take place? All that jazz. So more or less I'm trying to just do the whole basement if I can help it. I've got the floor all cleaned up. I got some old shelves. Got those all straightened up. It's got a whole bunch of trash and junk boxed up that needs to, just head off to the landfill. My next goal for it, I need to scrape down these walls. Clearly the previous owner didn't know how to properly seal it because I'm getting some water damage and junk. I was gonna say, if you see my knees, I'm wearing shorts. I do not have. No, I do have pants. I was gonna say I don't have pants. No, I have shorts on. So if you see my knees, it's but yeah, you can see a little bit of stuff, some junk there in the corner. Getting some nasty stuff. In the form here in the basement. You know what I mean? So the previous owner clearly didn't know how to seal it properly. So I just need to try to get. Yeah, I need to. Yeah. I've been working on it for the past the past couple weeks. So it's a lot, but I'm getting there. The floors and everything are good. The walls are my next task for it, honestly, because it's all I'm too tired for this. So the walls, I just need to scrape them down, just try to get what paint I can off. Just throw a sealant, some sealant on there. Paint it back over, and then that'll be done. And then I can work on actually throwing up. I've already written up the plan as far as how I want to subdivide the basement space. You know what I mean? As far as what kind of framing materials and all that I'm gonna need. So we've got that in the works. This here, where I'm sitting now, it's kind of gonna be sort of that game room that I mentioned before you had showed up, Song. So, but that's kind of this is where it's gonna take place. It's gonna take a little bit of time. Like I said, if I keep up the progress that I am right now, I'm hoping to be able to have at least a working version of what I'm hoping for ready by this December, for Christmas. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work that's going into it, but I mean, unless somebody does it, it's not going to get done. You know what I mean? And it's better for me to just do the work myself than to try to, it's I could, have somebody come in and do the contract, just contract it out to somebody, right? But doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get done the way that I want it to be. Nice, wooden Halloween decorations, nice. Make some pumpkins, among other festive objects. I don't know. Well, you got pumpkins, leaves, pumpkin, a flat piece. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I was gonna say I should have grabbed some of the stuff because I picked up a couple little things from local. Oh, nice! You got a scroll saw. Nice. Oh yeah, man. I was gonna say I've got my little jigsaw and stuff over there, but yeah, until I actually have a finished basement and stuff. I don't really have anywhere to put anything more substantial, for lack of a better way to put it. So I'm just oh, nice, man, nice. I was gonna say I've dabbled in woodworking well enough to be able to throw two pieces of wood together and make them stay. That's why I'm pretty confident with doing up the framing and stuff for the basement here. But yeah, as far as any actual woodworking, can't say I've gotten too involved with it myself. At least not yet. I'd love to though. Yeah, make a box. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta start small. Yeah, you gotta start smaller when it comes to doing something like that. Yeah. But yeah, no, I hope to get into stuff like that once I have a bit more of an actual space to do it. Cause can't really set it up. Can't really set that kind of stuff up in the living room. You know what I mean? But yeah. No, no, for sure. I've been interested in getting into it. Just I don't, haven't really had the space to be able to do much with that. But no, once I actually have the basement finished, I do have like a specific room where I'm gonna have like all the sort of like the craft room stuff. You know what I mean? Dovetail joint. Yeah, I was gonna say when you're talking more specific terms like that, you kind of lose me. like I can get around a piece of wood, but that's pretty much the extent of it. Like as far as trying to come up with specific terms for stuff, I'm just like, well, I know how to tack two pieces together and make it structurally sound. And that's pretty much the extent of it. Like as far as trying to fingers together. Yeah. I was gonna say, is this like the Hunger Games? Wait, I'm trying to think. What's the Hunger Games on? Oh, like I don't even know what I'm doing here. Oh, claps pans. Yeah. I'm gonna say I'm getting a tutorial here. Not sure. Clasp hands like this. Clap hands at two fingers overlap like this. Something like that. Right. Oh, two fingers overlap. Two fingers overlap one. Like this. Yeah. I'm trying to follow. Kinda. No. I don't know. Like I'm just over here like I've got two fingers here. I was gonna say, I've got my two fingers, and it's like, I don't think you want me to do this, because that doesn't look like something that you should do. Oh, goodness. Anyway, sorry, continue. I'll catch one eventually. So to say, for that matter, I've got my cell phone right here. I can literally look up what you're trying to convey through text. Like I can actually see pictures and stuff, which would probably help a lot. Oh, goodness. Goodness, I cannot for the life of me type with the tongue glove. Like, the problem is like you're supposed to be able to do like with gloves like this, you're supposed to be able to use screens and stuff like that, right? Like touch screens. But thing is, these ones have gotten you probably can't even see. Yeah, these have gotten several years of use, and as a result, they've gotten a little dirty. So I have a feeling might not work as intended anymore. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, I see. I see what you're talking about now. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's what they call a finger joint. Gotcha. Yeah, it's where it basically just claps, claps the words. Yeah, where it basically just goes together. I don't know. I would call it kind of sawtooth style, where it's like one to the other, right? But yeah, but nah, that's yeah. Yeah, I'm getting there. That's the thing when it comes to like certain things, like I understand the concepts, but I don't know the terms associated with them. Like I'm weird like that. Like I'll know what I'm looking at, but I don't know how to put it into words. If that makes sense. It's like I don't know. I'm trying to think of another example. Like I know I just did it the other day. Like I was working with something and I did something, and then somebody asked me, I'm trying to think, what was I doing? But no, they asked me how, or like what it was that I just did with, what I was working on at the time. And I was like, I don't know, I just call it this. Because I legitimately don't know what I just did. It's like, I know what I did, but I don't know what to call what I did. Oh, goodness, man. It do be like that, though. It's like, yeah, like I understand these things, but I don't know how to call them what they are. It's like I do a little bit of pottery and stuff on the side, just because pottery's fun. But like, I don't even know what to call half of the stuff I do with the pottery that I do. Like, I know there's terms for, terms for like, doing the different shapes and such, right? But I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just doing it like this because I've seen how to do this once. Yeah, it's kind of like a sawtooth where you kind of got the two bits and they interlock, more or less. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I would consider. See what I mean? My terminology is all busted. Like, I don't know what to call half of what I'm talking about here. I mean, it doesn't help, like, the problem is, like, I don't know, it's almost like, yeah, it's metal. Like, I was going to say, because, like, I know that I've heard sawtooth, style referred to stuff, like, within refrigeration and stuff before, right? It's like, oh, you got the sawtooth pattern for, insert whatever, right? But I'm just like, it's like, when it comes to certain terms, I just throw a name to it and hope that it sticks. It's like, I know what it is. I just don't know what to call it. Goodness, man. It's like, oh, it's good. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's good like that. It's like, hey, you know what? As long as it gets done, as long as you know what you're doing with it, it doesn't matter what it's called, as long as it works, right? Just don't ask me to try to explain anything that I tried to do, because you're gonna get all confused. I was going to say, like, even within the refrigeration world, like, sometimes I'll say something and say it with like the most confidence that like I can, because like, it's like, oh, I am super familiar with this concept, with this thing. It's like, oh, well, you got this particular valve or something, for instance. I'm just like, yeah, the tooth blade. Oh yeah, good. yeah, man. But no, I'm just like, no, I'll just say something with like just a whole lot of confidence, calling it what just what I call it, because that's what I've always called something. And then I'm just like, oh, that's not, and then they get all confused, and I'm just like, well, and then my brain starts churning, and it's like, oh, I'm the only one that probably calls it that. What do people actually call it? And it's like, oh, okay, no, well, it's the valve that's used for for isolation or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's I'll call it something, and then kind of have to backtrack a little bit and be like, oh no, it's this. It's actually this. It's just my messed up lingo, because I just call something is what it is, because I don't know. It's easier to just call it what I think it's called than to actually learn what it should be called. Even though I know what it does. It's like, no. Yeah, precisely. It's like, yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I sure do know how to do it. Oh, goodness, man. Yeah, it do be like that. Like, legit, though, I'm half tempted to bring my little, I was going to call it a skill saw, but I don't even... Now you got me questioning my whole toolbox over here, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just over here like... Yeah, I could, like, legit bring my little skill saw over here, and then you'll probably say, oh, that's not a skill saw. What are you on about? My little hand saw. I don't know what to call it anymore, man. Let me... Here, I'll have to look back through my old emails. The metal twisty stick. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, man. Goodness. It's probably not even called a skill saw. What's the darn thing called? I'll have to look back through my receipts. Like, I don't know. It's the saw I use to cut stuff, man. Like, I don't know. I got it because it's got a blade on it and it's powered. I could just be like, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's the big boy. Like, I don't know, man. Oh, man. Goodness. Hey, at least I know what my jigsaw is about, though. Like, at least I remember the jigsaw, because that one makes sense as far as the naming convention, right? Like, at least that one's basic enough for me to understand. Circular saw. Okay. Well, now that I know that that's supposed to be called a circular saw and not a skill saw, what am I saying is a skill saw that should be something else? Hold up. Okay, so I did get it. So skill saw it's basically one and the same. Okay. So I'm not wrong in calling it a skill saw. All right. At least I got that one partially right. Yeah, I was going to say, like, you got me questioning my whole toolbox over here. I'm getting ready to call a mallet like a sledgehammer. I'm getting ready to call the darn cock and gun. I'm getting to call it like an MP40 or something. Like I'm just like, what are my tools anymore? Oh goodness, man. Oh, it's good. I was gonna say. Oh yeah, my little shop vac. Nah, it's the underground. It's the underground vacuum. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, oh, it's a shovel? No, it's a pickaxe. Oh goodness, it got me questioning my whole toolkit over here, man. Oh man, it do be like that so sometimes. Like, hey, I don't claim to know everything. And I own up to that. But I'm gonna act like I at least know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I know what I'm talking about, I just don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, goodness, man. It do be like that sometimes now. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been rolling for about an hour now. I'm starting to get a little bit tired myself. Plus, being down here, kind of need a drink of water, so I'm probably going to go ahead and call it a stream here pretty soon. Probably call it a stream here pretty soon. Been going on for a little bit now. Yeah, thanks for dropping by, though, so it's great talking to you. The next time that we do a game, I'm hoping that you're able to drop by, like Majora's Mask, whatever we happen to be playing, right? So... then we can talk about some more woodworking, because honestly, I'd love to chat more about that, honestly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what time zone you're in, but for me, it's almost 8:30. And it's like, oh, well, that's not very late. And it's like, well, considering I worked like a solid 60 hours this week, I'm just like, I need to get some sleep, man. Not to mention trying to get stuff done in here. I'm just like, oh, man, I'm tired. I need the weekend. Goodness, 126. Ah, okay. I was going to say, because yeah, 126, that would put you, yeah, AM. Yeah, that would put you, goodness. Yeah, you're like way, I was going to say, yeah, you're way, way somewhere else. Yeah, Ireland, all right. Yeah, I was going to say, somewhere in Europe. I wasn't quite sure. And I didn't want to prod you too much, because you're not supposed to ask, like, hey, yo, what's your IP address or something? Like, you're not supposed to ask that. So I was trying to keep it vague. But yeah, Ireland, that's cool, man. I was going to say, now I've been really wanting to head over, like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it, but I'd love to. Yeah, exactly. But like, now I've been wanting to head over there at some point. I know I'd love to go. Yeah, public IP. Yeah, goodness, man. But what do you call them? Now I've been wanting to head over and just sightsee some. Like, dude, I love sort of like sort of the old history of the places. It's like. Yeah, I'm a particularly Renaissance. Well, I won't even say Renaissance. Renaissance is fine. Yeah. Hey, Renaissance is fine in my book. But now I'm talking like, go and see some of like the old medieval stuff and things like that. Like, dude, like that kind of stuff is really cool to me. I haven't been to a Renaissance fair or like, one of the festivals or anything for like, a couple years now. I really need to try to go back to one soon. Because, like, dude, I love that kind of stuff. I was going to say, they had one, I'm trying to think, it was probably, goodness, that would have been probably 4 years ago now. They actually kind of had like a little reenactment style thing. Of course it was LARP, it was all just like fake weapons and stuff like that, but they were doing like a little documentary thing. And I can't remember what's called. Is what it is. But like, no, that was really fun. We all, camped out in tents and stuff, old school style. You could bring your own armor, like all that kind of jazz, you know what I mean? So no, that was really fun. Got to hit people with foam weapons, and it's like, well, all right. But the thing is, like, it would have been cool though. I know they got some more sort of, I would say, realistic showings over in the Europe, but good old Europe. But I know that they take that kind of stuff way more seriously than over here. You know what I mean? So I would love to be able to see their takes on some of that kind of stuff. Like, it's way bigger there, obviously, because it's their history, than over here in the States. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, why didn't we get the cool history? All that we got is a history of people fighting each other. I mean, to be fair, that's basically what Europe was too, though. So turns out history in general is just a bunch of people fighting each other. Yeah. I was going to say, I know there's a big one up. I was gonna say, I can't really call out an entire festival. There's one up in Maryland that's like really big. But yeah, over there, it's like people take it way more seriously, man. Like, it's not like just like a little, like tiny scale, like village or town. Oh, you're saying up in Maryland they don't? I'm trying to think, there's a big one near Maryland, though. I'm trying to think, hold up. Well, what am I thinking about? Oh, in Europe. You're saying they don't have very many Renaissance fairs in Europe? Like, hold up. That's like their whole history, though. Let me see. I was gonna say, because yeah, I think let me see, maybe a couple in Italy. I don't know, I just assumed that would be way more prevalent there, since it's like their direct history, right? Versus like, I know here in the States you got like the good old Civil War reenactments and stuff like that, sometimes Revolutionary War stuff, but is this the one I'm thinking? I think that's it. Yeah, just the Maryland Renaissance Fair, I think. You're not wrong there. Probably because U.S. culture is just kind of like, I don't know. It's like, don't get me wrong, like, it's interesting, but like, I don't know. It kind of is what it is, because like, I don't know. confusingly popular in America. I was gonna say some of the stuff like that, it's like, it's weird that it's stuck around like it has. Like, I don't know, because I mean, half the reason why, I mean, a good portion of people came to the States to begin with, right, was because like, oh, we want like, kind of religious freedom, right? It's like, we want to be able to choose what we want to believe, as opposed to like, at the time, like, you had, good old, either, you had your, basically your state sponsored, practices, or you had your, of course, the Catholic Church, right? So I know, like, Protestantism, that was like kind of like a whole bit, like, as far as the state. So it's like, oh, well, St. Patrick. Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of time has passed, and, of course, of course, you know, you got you know, Catholicism here in the States, you know, obviously, you know, of course they brought it over too. Don't get me started on Protestantism. No, I got you, man. But like, but no, it's, yeah, I mean, you know, nowadays it's like, well, you got people everywhere that believe whatever, you know, one or the other, you know, it's like, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's certain traditions that I guess just were brought here and then just were just built up way bigger. And maybe it's just because the states in general, just like, we like to make everything bigger than it really needs to be. If we're being honest, it's gonna say, get yourself a large fry, and it's like, oh, well, that's like the, like the mega cup from, like, insert any other location in the world. It's like the super size of like everywhere else. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, that's basically what we just do with everything, including holidays. Including holidays. So just like, I don't know, man. I was gonna say, as far as like, I'm trying to think of what other, I mean, Halloween too. Like, you know, now that we're in, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, mega supersized stuff. Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, as far as like, I mean, dude, it was really bad, like, when they actually had, like, super size here in the States. Like, I'm sure there's probably still some places to have it. It's considered, like, Wonderland. Gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say, it was even worse, like, dude, like, back in the day when you, like, actually could, like, supersize stuff here in the States. Like, dude, straight up, like, you had, you know, you have, like, the large now of, like, fries, for example. Like, you know, it's about yay big, right? But like, you take that and then you supersize it. That thing is like, it's like, do you want an entire like freezer bag of French fries? Here you go. Goodness, man. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the U.S., you know, it's like, you know, I've only always lived here, so, you know, I'm kind of biased towards, you know, it's like, oh, okay, well. But the thing is, it's like, I don't know. Wherever, pretty much, you just kind of got to make the most out of wherever you happen to live, right? Granted, there are some places that are a little rougher than others. You know, I mean, even in the States, like, dude, like, it's crazy. Like, even where I live right now, it's like you know, are fine in one spot, but then you go down like one street and it's like, oh, okay. Well, now we got to be on the lookout for like people trying to just like jump you for no reason, right? It's like, it's like, I don't know, man. Yeah, it's like wherever you live, it's like, you know, it's like you got to make the most of it. And it's like, do I think the U.S. is like great? Sure. But at the same time, like, I don't know. The government likes my money. Yeah, the government likes spending my money, so that's cool, I guess. But I don't know, man. Yeah. I mean, honestly, when it comes to topics of like, I don't know, sort of government, political, whatever, you know, it's like, yeah, it impacts me, but at the same time, I'm one person just going to work and coming home, you know, trying to spend time with friends, family, etc. Like, I'm not the person that's going to be changing, you know, the whole country, you know what I mean? It's like, I'll vote, whatever that's going to mean, you know what I mean? You know, but it's like, I don't know. I try not to worry about it too much, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I don't know. Like I said, just kind of make the most of what you got, more or less. Be nice if they didn't take as much of my money, though. Darn taxes. I mean, I understand taxes, but also, taxes would be kind of great if you didn't have to pay quite as much of them. It's like, I don't know, man. It does make it tricky though, because like, I don't know. I mean, you do as a society got to pay for stuff. Like, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, man, seems like there's a whole lot of waste when it comes to tax money. I'm just saying. Like, I don't want to sound like garbage. My brain is like just shot for the evening. Garbage. Parks and Rec. Ron Swanson. I don't want to sound like a Ron Swanson over here, but at the same time, I'm just like, man, I feel like some of the stuff that the government deals with would probably be better if we just dealt with it ourselves on the private level. I'm just like, I don't know, man. It's like, I feel like some of the stuff that the government does, it's like, man, you guys are not efficient at pretty much anything that you do. Can't we just handle it? Because we at least can make it work. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, it's like, of course, military's military. You can't privatize military. Although, no. Oh, goodness. Yeah, you can't really privatize military. I mean, at least not effectively. I mean, with the scale that you're working at, it's like, at a certain point, once it scales too large, then it's like, it's like, at what point does it become like, just, when does it become not efficient because of just the scale of it? It's like, I don't know. Sorry, I kind of got off on a weird tangent. But no, I don't really talk too much about random political whatevers. I'm more of a just go to work and come home kind of guy myself. So, but yeah. As far as going back to the topic of I need to stretch my leg again. Also, I still have shorts on, so I just knocked my camera out. Let me try to fix this real quick. Sorry about that. This one? Maybe? Oh, I am locked in space. Let me try this again. Why can I not plug the darn thing back in? Oh no! I am frozen! Help me! Help me, I'm frozen! Oh no! Oh no, why am I still frozen? I moved my leg to stretch and then I immediately kill my darn camera. Hold up. Give me a second. I think I know how to fix it. Oh no! No, I've disappeared entirely. Am I back? Okay, now I'm back. Okay. Oh, goodness, man. Yeah, it do be like that. Yeah, keeping it professional around here as always. That's why I'm streaming in a basement with like zero acoustics, like acoustic support, and keep having to adjust my legs because I keep sitting on them and they keep falling asleep on me. Oh, goodness, man. But yeah, it's but it's been fun. I'm probably gonna have to call it here pretty soon though, like I said. Well, I said that about 20 minutes ago. and then we got talking. But now it's about 1:20. Dude, my brain right now, I am so tired. I said 1:20 because you said like 1:15 earlier. And I was like, oh, it's been a what? Dude, my brain is half asleep, man. I do not know. We've been Goodness. All right. I think that's my cue to sort of wrap up this evening. I think that's my cue. It's like when my brain doesn't know how time works anymore. I think that's about when I need to call it. But anyway, yeah, thanks again, Sock, for dropping by. Thanks again to all you Coop operatives out there for coming by the Not Couch today. Yeah, as well as anybody else that happened to come by too. Thank you guys, and yeah, we'll have to talk more about the woodworking stuff. Like I'm interested in that. You'll have to update me on the terms and see if I know half of what I'm thinking that I know, since I don't know what to say myself. But no, yeah, we'll have to keep that chat going because that's interesting right there. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys here pretty soon. Yeah, have a good one, and well, good night.